Sounds like a plan.
Hello, everyone. Might be listening on YouTube. This is John Lobdell. I'll be reading some of my poetry and some other people's poetry for about half hour, and I do this live on Zoom with some friends of mine, and then I put it on YouTube. So, if you are listening, I hope you enjoy it. Hope you like and subscribe, as they always say. I like to start with a little body mind centering, which I do by rubbing my hands till they get a little warm. Putting it right over my eyes so the hands fit nicely. Take some big breaths. A couple more times. Okay. Put my glasses on. So I didn't write anything new this week. I'll read from my new book, which I need to get to good. This one's called Hope. First day of spring, hiking up a little valley. We don't expect to see wildflowers yet we are delighted. There are blue dicks on their single stalks, the little white popcorn flowers, baby blue eyes and milkmaids, blue lupin, scarlet larkspur, all encouraged by the returning light. But now it's getting late, it's time to return, and just before the parking lot we see a field of shooting stars. The moon is rising, reminding us of the great turning. Light and dark chase each other across the heavens unending. Hope should never be lost.
I think my hope is a little bit lost.
Well, there's always something to hope for. You just have to forget all the stuff that's hopeless. This is called What More Could I Want? Which is, by the way, the title of my book. Watching birds at the feeder, 3 white-crowned sparrows expertly shell each millet seed. A finch lands and then another. They pick up sunflower seeds and in their beaks slit the hard shell before eating the sweet meat. A titmouse takes a sunflower seed to a tree and holding it with his foot, hammers it with his beak, breaking the shell. Nature gives them these skills. I learned carpentry from my father. I did all kinds of building, including creative decks, fences, and gates. Sometimes I wished I had pushed myself to learn something else, but it was easy doing what I knew. We are told that it's good to dream, to try to achieve more, but does this obsession with prestige mean I think there is something wrong with my life? That nothing is ever good enough? Watching the birds, now the sparrows, finches, and titmice, and even a towhee are all eating together. Looking at the blue sky, I feel content. Like St. Francis, I can see God in all these creatures. What more could I want? Let's see, do I want to read another one? Read this one. Labor. The young Latin man I pick up to help me with some concrete work slouches sullenly in the passenger seat. I wonder if he is angry at the world that has conspired to make him leave his country to acquire American money. My father was a carpenter. Maybe that's why I enjoy making things instead of pushing papers in an office. Nowadays, pretty much only Latins do this work. The next day, I pick up my old friend Jose. We laugh about odd jobs we've done. It's a relief after the unhappy young man. He shows me a picture of his daughter. Surely she dreams of doing something other than cleaning people's homes. But Jose looks worried when we part. He implores me to find him more work. He lives hand to mouth, literally, like we all did eons ago, tilling and planting fields, always at the mercy of the weather. Do men in offices feel secure, more secure? I'm not so sure. They could be laid off tomorrow. Still, I enjoy making tangible things. Even my poetry I'm making into books, not e-books. I hope we don't lose sight of our bodies. Outside my door, I see the pears ripening. And just like we taste that sweetness in the bodies of the pears, in our bodies, we can experience the tangible nature of spirit. And we can taste the sweet labor of life.
Nice.
There's something to hope for. Okay, Glenda, you sent me something I know. Let's see. Should I read Davy?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. Davy, this is by Glenda Reed. I open the glass doors and peer through the screen at the banyan tree perched in the yard. I gaze through the leaves at its branches vast, a gift of shade for me. The morning sun washes across the dew on the grass. And I look for the lizards and the squirrels and the fox, who often gather at the canal's edge. There's a banana tree and some mangoes gone ripe. A beautiful feast for such fauna. It rains in the afternoon as it usually does. The tree frogs climb on the screen. Somehow a tiny lizard has found a path and scampers across my toes. There are 2 foxes, but one tail is missing. Perhaps some human interference, I guess. But they watch me as I sit in my chair, before cautiously venturing near. Night takes its time arriving, like silk drawn across my skin. That's a lovely line. And the bullfrogs sing as they sit in the rain, so fat and vocal, as if I'm their audience, which in a way I guess I am. Finally, the moon pays a visit to check out the fuss, and the frogs do not disappoint. Then at last I close my eyes and sleep, till tomorrow, when I open the doors again and breathe. So Glenda, how can you have banana trees and mangoes?
I don't have them here, but I used to live in Florida.
Ah, that's what you're thinking. Florida. Okay, that makes sense.
I loved my home there.
Yeah, and the banyan tree too. I always think of banyans in Africa.
They're all over southern Florida.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Thank you.
That line I like silk drawn across my skin.
Mhm.
Night takes its time arriving.
I think the air in Florida is different than the air in other places. It is more silky. I don't know if it's the humidity or what, but it just feels like silk.
Yeah, yeah, I've lived in humid climes. Yeah, kind of heavy too.
But at night it doesn't feel that way. It just feels silky.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let's see. What else do I have here? Here's one by somebody named Novalis, who I think was a contemporary of Goethe, maybe in Germany. Hymns to the night. I quest over there, and each pain will someday be a sting of delight. In a few moments I shall be free and lie drunk in love's bosom. Endless living wells up strongly in me. I look from above down here after you at that mound. Your splendor pales. A shade brings the cooling wreath. Oh, breathe me, beloved, ravish me, so I can pass on to sleep and to love, to feel death's rejuvenating tide, transform my blood to balm and ether. I live by day full of faith and courage, and perish by night in holy fire. Wow.
Hmm.
A little ecstasy going on there. Let's see. Oh, here's one by Robert Bly. It's in 3 parts. Horn Picker Poem. Number 1. Sheds left out in the darkness, abandoned granaries, cats merging into the night. There are hubcaps cooling in the dark yard. The stiff-haired sun has slouched and gone to bed. A low wind sweeps over the moony land. 2. Overshoes stiffen in the entry. The calendar grows rigid on the wall. He dreams and his body grows limber. He is fighting a many-armed woman. He is a struggler. He will not yield. He fights her in the crotch of a willow tree. He wakes up with jaws set into victory. 3. It is dawn, corn picking today. He leans over, hurtling his old Pontiac down the road. Somewhere the sullen, chilled machine is waiting, its empty gas cans around it. There's a little one called Prophets. There are fields of white roses with prophets asleep in them. I see their long black feet. A cricket in the wainscoting. That song of his is like a boat with black sails, or a widow under a redwood tree, warning passerby that the tree is about to fall, or a bell made of black tin in a Mexican village, or the hair in the ear of a 100-year-old man. Insect heads. These insects, golden in Arabic, sailing in the husks of galleons, their octagonal heads also hold sand paintings of that Nick's life. To live. Living means eating up particles of death as a child picks up crumbs from around the table. Floating means letting the crumbs fall behind you in the path. To live is to rush ahead, eating up your own death, like an end gate, open, hurrying into night.
Hmm.
That's some of the best Robert Bly I've ever read. Let's see. Here's a little one by, I don't know if he's Japanese or Chinese, a man named Ryokan. I don't even know if it's a man or a woman. The Long Winter Night, 3 poems. The long winter night, the long winter night seems endless. When will it be day? No flame in the lamp nor charcoal in the fireplace. Lying in bed listening to the sound of freezing rain. To an old man, dreams come easy. I let my thoughts drift. The room is empty, and both the sake and the oil are used up. The long winter night. When I was a boy studying in an empty hall, over and over I had to fill the lamp with oil. Even now that task is disagreeable. The long winter night. Green mountains, front and back, white clouds, east and west. Even if I met a fellow traveler, no news could I give him. Deep in the mountains at night, alone in my hermitage, I listen to the plaintive sound of rain and snow. A monkey cries on top of a mountain. The sound of the valley river has faded away. A light flickers in front of the window. On the desk, the water and the inkstone has dried. Unable to sleep all night, I prepare ink and brush and write this poem. Winter. In the 11th month, snow falls thick and fast. 1,000 mountains, one color. Men of the world passing this way are few. Dense grass conceals the door. All night in silence, a few wood chips burn slowly as I read the poems of the ancients. And here's a little Rumi. A man in the shadows, he beckons me to me and leads me to a door. With a smile he shows me in. An ordinary man with a mischievous grin and a wink. He offers me a glass and I drink. Oh, what trickery! I do not care though. Your wine merely increases my thirst, and you laugh. And so I join the ranks of the insatiable, teetering on the brink of annihilation. Your masterful hand allows no one too much, and we wait for caprice to shine. Your eyes betray you. I should have seen that. Playful cupbearer, fill my goblet once again.
I wonder what was in that wine.
I think that, Rumi was a Muslim. He probably didn't drink wine, but a lot of their poems refer back to what's that religion before the Muslims? I forget. Anyway, they drank wine. Let's see. Here's one by somebody named Clarice Short. It says here, I have lived 2 lives, that of the farmer and the rancher and that of the scholar. Well, that's kind of like me. I've lived the life of a carpenter and a poet. This is the old one in the wind. She loves the wind, there on the edge of the known world, at 90. In her tall house, any wildness in the elements is as welcome as an old friend. When the surgically patched elms and sycamores crack off their heavy limbs in the freak snowstorm of October, she rejoices. The massy hail that drives craters into her groomed lawn, stirs her sluggish heart to a riot of beating. A cluster of cottonwood trees in the swale of the prairie, oasis now in a desert of wheat fields, is all that's left of the home place. No one is left to remember the days there with her. The playhouse shelter behind the cowshed, the whirlwinds that made a column of corn shucks, winters when snow brushed out all the fences, springs when the white of the snow turned to daisies, wind bent as were the urchins who picked them. To her and her tall house in the tame town, the wind that escapes the windbreaks of man's constructing, blows from a distance beyond the young's conceiving, is rife with excitements of the world's beginning and its end. I like that.
Hmm.
That's like the country you live in, right, Glenda? Here's one by James Wright. As I step over a puddle at the end of winter, I think of an ancient Chinese governor. There's a little quote here from maybe that governor. And how can I, born in evil days and fresh from failure, ask a kindness of fate? Po Chui, balding old politician, what's the use? I think of you uneasily entering the gorges of the Yangtze when you were being towed up the rapids towards some political job or other in the city of Changshuo. You made it, I guess, by dark. But it is 1960. It is almost spring again, and the tall rocks of Minneapolis build me my own black twilight of bamboo ropes and waters. Where is Yun Cheng, the friend you loved? Where is the sea that once saw the whole loneliness of the Midwest? Where is Minneapolis? I can see nothing but the great terrible oak tree darkening with winter. Did you find the city of isolated men beyond the mountains? Or have you been holding the end of a frayed rope for 1,000 years? Ooh,
Hmm.
that's a good last line. Let's see. Here's a poem by Anna Swir, who's a Polish lady. My body effervesces. I am born for the second time. I am light as eyelash of the wind. I froth. I am froth. I walk dancing. If I wish, I will soar. The condensed lightness of my body condenses most forcibly in the lightness of my foot and its 5 toes. The foot skims the earth, which gives way like compressed air, an elastic duo of the earth and of the foot, a dance of liberation. I am born for the second time. Happiness of the world came to me again. My body effervesces. I think with my body which effervesces. If I wish, I will soar.
Hmm.
Here's one called A Bitch, about a dog, not a person. You come to me at night. You are an animal, a woman and an animal can be joined by the night only. Maybe you are a wild he-goat, or perhaps a rabid dog, hard to tell in the dark. I say tender words to you. You don't understand. You are an animal. You are not surprised that sometimes I cry. But your animal body understands more than you do. It too is sad, and when you fall asleep, it warms me up with its hairy warmth. We sleep hugging each other like two puppies who lost their bitch. Well, I guess that is about a person and a and a dog. She's funny, Anna Swir. She writes these very ecstatic poems. She also writes some pretty heavy stuff. She lived through World War II in Poland, which couldn't have been too fun.
Right.
Let's see. We're getting through a lot of poems tonight. The Rilke, The Neighbor. Strange violin, are you following me? In how many distant cities already has your lonely night spoken to mine? Are 100 playing you, or only one? Are there in all the great giant cities men like this, who without you would already be gone into the rivers? And why am I always the one who hears it? Why am I always the neighbor to those men who force you fear to sing and to say the heaviness of life is heavier even than the weight of things? Let's see. I'll do one D.H. Lawrence. Two performing elephants. He stands with his forefeet on the drum, and the other, the old one, the pallid hoary female, must creep her great bulk beneath the bridge of him, on her knees, in utmost caution, all agog and curling her trunk. She edges through without upsetting him. Triumph, the ancient pig-tailed monster. And her trick is to climb over him. With what shadow-like slow carefulness she skims him, sensitive as shadows from the ages gone and perished, and touching him, and planting her round feet, while the wispy modern children, half afraid, watch silent. The looming of the hoary, far-gone ages is too much for them. Well, Kate, it's time for a little Mary.
The reason you've gone through more poems is because you started earlier.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
We usually wait for somebody to show, sometimes or come late. So that's
Yeah.
why.
I was very late sending out the text about tonight, but of course everybody should know that I do this every Wednesday. But
You don't ever send me a text. You just
I just
I'm
assume
going to show
I
up.
just assume you're coming. Okay, a couple of Marys, and then we'll say goodnight. Here's a Mary in 7 parts. Okay. This is one of the sad ones, isn't it? To begin with, the sweet grass. Number 1. Will the hungry ox stand in the field and not eat of the sweet grass? Will the owl bite off its own wings? Will the lark forget to lift its body in the air or forget to sing? Will the rivers run upstream? Behold, I say, behold the reliability and finery and teachings of this gritty earth gift. Number 2. Eat bread and understand comfort. Drink water and understand delight. Visit the garden where the scarlet trumpets are opening their bodies for the hummingbirds who are drinking the sweetness, who are thrillingly gluttonous. For one thing leads to another. Soon you will notice how stones shine underfoot. Eventually tides will be the only calendar you believe in. And someone's face whom you love will be as a star, both intimate and ultimate. And you will be both heart shaken and respectful. And you will hear the air itself like a beloved whisper. Oh, let me for a while longer enter the two beautiful bodies of your lungs. 3. The witchery of living is my whole conversation with you, my darlings. All that I can tell you is what I know. Look and look again. The world is not just a little thrill for the eyes. It's more than bones. It's more than the delicate wrist with its personal pulse. It's more than the beating of the single heart. It's praising. It's giving until the giving feels like receiving. You have a life. Just imagine that. You have this day, maybe another, maybe still another. Number 4. Someday I'm going to ask my friend Paulus, the dancer, the potter, to make me a begging bowl, which I believe my soul needs. And if I come to you at the door of your comfortable house with unwashed clothes and unclean fingernails, will you put something into it? I would like to take this chance. I would like to give you this chance. Number 5. We do one thing or another. We stay the same, or we change. Congratulations if you have changed. Number 6. Let me let me ask you this. Do you also think that beauty exists for some fabulous reason? And if you have not been enchanted by this adventure, your life, what would do for you? What 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 would you do for you? Number 7. What I loved in the beginning, I think, was mostly myself. Never mind that I had to, since somebody had to. That was many years ago. Since then, I've gone out from my confinements, though with difficulty. I mean the ones that thought to rule my heart. I cast them out. I put them on the mush pile. They will be nourishment somehow. Everything is nourishment somehow or other. And I have become the child of the clouds and of hope. I have become the friend of the enemy, and whoever that is. I have become older and cherishing what I have learned. I have become younger. And what do I risk to tell you this, which is all I know? Love yourself, then forget it, then love the world. Well, that's a nice one to end on. That's a nice, hopeful bunch of words.
Thanks,
Well,
John.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, thank you. That was nice. Have a good week, everyone.
Thank you.
Right.
That was fun. Thanks, John. Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, all.
Good night.
See you next week.
All right. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.